Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel and to our homestead. We have another busy Saturday ahead of us where we are going to be doing some spring garden preparations, building some raised beds, amending some of our soil, and starting some seeds for the spring garden. So come along with us. So the first thing that we got started with this weekend was building a couple more raised beds for our garden. We already have 4 out there, but we wanted to add a couple more, and we're making these exactly the same as we did last year. So those are 4x12 beds made out of composite decking board material. So for each bed, we purchased 4 12-foot 5 to 6 inch wide decking boards. Those were made out of composite material, which we found to be the best for the money, so that they would be long lasting and not just rot like most woods would. And then we also purchased 2 8-foot decking boards of the same width, and we went ahead and cut the 8-foot boards in 2 to have 4 4-foot boards, and that gave us our 4x12 shape. Then we also needed a few 4x4s, which we cut into 12-foot sections, and then we are going to be using those to anchor together the sides and to add some more support through the middle. So here you can see Brad is just sawing these into those sections, and once we have all of the materials cut, we will be assembling the bed. While Brad was cutting some of those boards, I needed to go through and see what all seeds I had remaining from last year, either from seeds that I had purchased or seeds that we had saved. That way I knew what I had to work with and what I needed to purchase for this year. And of course I needed a little bit of help from Noelle. She's our little farm kitty who was finding all of this quite entertaining. So at this point Brad had all of the materials cut, so we were ready to assemble. So we placed one of those 4x4 boards on top of a 2x4 so that it didn't set all the way flush with the top. And then he used some 3-inch decking screws to attach one of the 12-foot pieces and one of the 4-foot pieces to that piece of 4x4. And then we repeated that in the other 3 corners. Then we went ahead and stacked the other 12-foot piece and the other 12-foot piece on the other side, along with the other 4-foot pieces on top of the existing ones, and screwed those into those 4x4s as well. Then finally, we spaced 6 remaining 4x4s 3 feet apart on the inside of the bed on the 12-foot side sections, and we screwed those in as well and set those on the 1-inch side of a 2x4 just to raise them up a little bit and not let them be flush with the top of the decking boards, just like with the corner pieces. While Brad was working on cutting out another bed, I went ahead and started some seeds inside. I needed to get some celery seeds and some onion seeds started, so that's what I'm doing here. I just have 3 different trays. I'm going to do 2 trays for the onions and 1 tray for the celery. And I'm just filling those about 2 inches deep with a seed starting mix. And after that, I am going to be breaking up any clumps in the seed starting mix. Usually seed starting mixes are pretty fine and you usually don't have to do much to them, but if there were any clumps, I just wanted to break those up so that the little seeds and little roots would not have anything difficult that they were running into. After that, I just went ahead and smoothed out the dirt so that I had an even surface to work with, and then I was ready to start the seeds. Because celery seeds are extremely small and difficult to work with, I emptied my seeds into a little bowl and mixed them with just a really small amount of dirt really well, and that evenly distributed them enough for me to plant them a little more easily than just if I were planting the seeds. So I evenly distributed that through my tray, and then I covered them with just a really thin layer of the seed starting mix. You don't need to cover celery seeds very deeply at all. And then I was ready to move on to my onions. I did the same thing over there, except I didn't feel the need to mix the seeds with the dirt like I did the celery seeds, because onion seeds are quite a bit bigger. So I went ahead and evenly distributed my onion seeds and topped them off with about a 1/2 inch of soil instead of a 1/4 inch. Then I just misted them heavily with some water, and we went ahead and transferred these outside to our shelf where we have our grow lights set up. Finally, after finishing all of those projects today, we decided to take advantage of the snow outside and till that into our raised beds that were already out there. And then we added in some soil alkalizer and some organic fertilizer just to start the process of getting these beds prepared for spring. So anyway, that was our busy weekend day on the homestead. I hope you all enjoyed following along with us and seeing what was going on. We would love to hear what all was happening for you all this weekend, and if you enjoyed this video, we would so appreciate it if you liked it and commented and even considered subscribing to our channel to follow along with more of our journey. Well, until next week, have a wonderful weekend, friends, and we'll see you all then.